Russia has now put out imagery, and again, this is imagery by Russia, so you have to take it with a grain of salt and kind of think about it too as you're seeing it, of a drone, and we can play the video for folks as we're talking about who are watching the broadcast, but of a drone, not a particularly large drone, going right into the Kremlin. I mean, right off Red Square on the Kremlin.
Over the dome.
And being shot down by their, they have an emergency like air defense system that like the White House has. But it gets within, I mean, so close. I mean, that means it's inside Moscow at a,
you're over the building.
Probably only 100 feet maybe.
From the top?
Yeah, 150 feet. I mean, it's a if you've seen the images of Red Square, if you've ever been there, this is a huge building if you're watching this with me right now.
It's right over the dome.
So when there's an explosion like that in the dome, think of it, that dome is probably not as big as the U.S. Capitol, but it's that size. It might not be, it's about that height.
Maybe it's the height of the actual dome.
I mean, you think about that Red Square wall, that is gigantic. So if a big explosion happens, of course, though, there are a lot of questions in this. How did a drone get that far into Russian airspace, that size? Why wasn't it shot down before?
Because by the way, they're saying that this is an assassination attempt.
That is the Russian Federation
from
claim.
Ukraine on Vladimir Putin.
Yes.
And you're right. It opens up a lot of those questions. It's not like you could fly this thing all the way across and not be detected.
The Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, has said he's seen the reports because we all could, like I said, we showed you the video. It's not like Russia's just claiming this happened. If this was a false flag, they exploded a device over the Kremlin.
Yeah.
And a pretty significant explosion, which we haven't yet seen imagery that I can find or that our team's been able to find of the aftermath.
Like what was left.
Now, some of that would be for security purposes. We probably wouldn't want to show that either if it was like the White House or the Capitol. But at some point, if it was a big enough explosion, the news would be able to see it. Now, the news is controlled there, obviously, so they wouldn't necessarily throw up a drone either to get that imagery. But when Blinken was asked about it, he said he's seen the reports. He can't validate them, but we don't know. Here's why I think that's unacceptable. We are funding the Ukrainian war. We should be able to definitively say before Russia has a chance to utilize this to escalate the conflict, we should be able to definitively ask the Ukrainians and get 100% answer if this was them or not.